You won't believe what happens when ordinary people stand up against injustice, because sometimes, the smallest act of courage can ignite a wildfire of change that no one saw coming. This is a story about a quiet town, a humble diner, and a moment that changed everything forever. It all started on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon in the town of Maplewood. The Maplewood Diner was the kind of place where everyone knew your name, your order, and your story. It was a cozy spot run by Mr. Carter, a grizzled man in his 60s whose face was weathered from years of hard work and kindness. He was the kind of man who greeted everyone with a smile, no matter what kind of day he was having. Today, the diner buzzed with its usual lunchtime crowd, local farmers, students, office workers, everyone settling in for a quick bite and a break from their routines. But in the corner booth sat someone who seemed out of place, an elderly man named Harold. Harold was known around town as a gentle soul, a veteran who wore a battered leather jacket and had a long, silver beard that reached his chest. He usually came in once a week, always polite, always tipping generously, always ready with a story or a smile. But today, Harold looked different. His gaze was distant, and he seemed to be lost in thought as he ate his meal quietly, oblivious to the small crowd around him. 3 teenagers, 2 boys and a girl, hovered nearby, whispering and smirking. They were known in town for their troublemaking, but no one had ever thought they'd target someone like Harold. Today, their eyes gleamed with mischief, and their plan was clear: tease Harold, mess with him, make him feel small. Without warning, the lanky boy with a baseball cap turned backward, snatched Harold's iced tea and laughed as the cold liquid spilled onto Harold's lap. The girl with bright pink hair pulled out her phone and started recording. The second boy, a bit chubby with a mischievous grin, leaned in and mocked Harold. "Hey, old-timer," he sneered, "got anything to say? Or are you just gonna sit there and take it?" The others chuckled, reveling in their own cruelty. Harold lowered his gaze, silent. It was as if he'd seen it all before. The room grew tense, but no one stepped in, no one wanted to get involved. Everyone stared, but nobody dared to intervene. Across the room, Sarah, the diner's manager, watched the scene unfold. She was in her mid-30s, with sharp eyes and a kind heart. She had been working at Maplewood Diner for over a year, knowing every regular, every story, every face. Harold was one of them, a kind soul who always paid his bill and left a generous tip. Sarah clenched her fists. She'd seen enough of this kind of bullying. Her instincts told her to step in, but she hesitated, unsure if it would escalate further. Meanwhile, Emily, the waitress, couldn't stay silent anymore. She was 22, quick-witted, and had a reputation for standing up for what was right. She approached the table, her voice steady but firm. "Hey," she said loudly, "leave him alone. Now." The teenagers turned, surprised to see her standing there. The boy with the baseball cap scoffed. "Relax, lady. We're just having some fun." "This isn't fun," Emily shot back. "You're harassing a customer. If you don't leave Harold alone right now, I'll have to ask you to leave, and I won't be gentle about it." The girl with pink hair rolled her eyes but hesitated. The boy in the cap looked at her, then sneered. "Whatever. This place sucks anyway," he muttered, and the group turned to leave, but not before the boy snatched Harold's drink and threw it onto his lap. Harold sat there, soaked, his face unreadable. The teenagers burst into laughter and swaggered out, leaving Harold humiliated and hurt. Sarah rushed over, grabbing napkins and helping Harold clean up. "I'm so sorry about that," Sarah said softly. Harold offered her a tired smile. "It's okay, Sarah. I've been through worse," he replied, voice calm but tired. Emily looked at Harold, anger and frustration boiling inside her. She wanted to do more, to say more, but she knew she had to be careful. She gently squeezed Harold's shoulder. "Are you all right?" Harold nodded. "Thanks, kid. I appreciate you standing up for me." His eyes flickered with gratitude, but beneath that, Emily saw a hint of sadness, reminding her that even in this quiet town, some wounds cut deep. Suddenly, Sarah's phone buzzed loudly, breaking the moment. She looked at the screen and her eyes widened. "You won't believe this," she murmured. "Someone posted a video of what just happened. It's already going viral." Emily's heart skipped a beat. She looked over Sarah's shoulder at her phone, and sure enough, there was a video, Harold sitting alone, the teenagers bullying him, Emily stepping in. The caption read, "Courageous waitress stands up to bullies, gets fired for it." The comments were pouring in. "This is disgusting. Asterisk, who owns this diner? They need to answer for this. We stand with Emily." And then, the shocker, a live stream from outside the diner, asterisk asterisk the camera shook as someone panned across the parking lot, dozens of motorcycles lined up, a sea of leather and chrome, all gathered in front of Maplewood Diner. Emily's stomach dropped. She felt a mixture of fear and curiosity. Who were these people? Why had they come? Suddenly, her phone buzzed again. She hesitated, then answered. A deep, calm voice spoke from the other end. "Emily, we've got your back," it said. She froze. "Who is this?" The voice chuckled softly. "Let's just say you've made some new friends today. We're here to make sure you're protected." The call ended. Emily stared at her phone, her mind racing. Who were these people? What was happening? And why did she feel a strange sense of hope amid the chaos? Within minutes, her social media feed exploded. Messages flooded in, offers for new jobs, opportunities she'd never imagined. Restaurants, law firms, even security agencies reached out, eager to hire her for her bravery. And then, a new message appeared from an unknown number, "Come to the diner. We need to talk." Her heart pounded. Should she go? Part of her was terrified, facing her old boss, the town's judgment, but another part felt empowered. She grabbed her keys and headed out. When she arrived, the parking lot was packed, rows of bikes, groups of tough-looking bikers standing with respect. Emily hesitated at first, then took a deep breath and walked toward the crowd. People turned to look, then nodded or clapped as she entered. Among them, she saw Harold, smiling wider than she had ever seen him. "Hey," Emily said, voice trembling, "what's going on?" Harold grinned. "You stood up for me, and now they're standing with you. That's how it works around here." Suddenly, a massive man with a thick beard and a leather vest stepped forward. His presence was intimidating, but his eyes held kindness. "Name's Jack," he said, extending a hand. "President of the Iron Guardians. Harold's told us about you." Emily shook his hand, nerves still tingling. "I just did what anyone should." Jack nodded approvingly. "You got guts, kid. You've got a future with us if you want it." Before she could respond, the diner's owner, Mr. Reynolds, stepped outside, pale and trembling. "That's her," he muttered. "That's the girl who fired me." The crowd's mood shifted. Jack's voice boomed, "Reynolds, you messed with the wrong people. You fired a woman for standing up to bullies? That's not just wrong, it's cowardly." He gestured to the bikers. "We're not just about bikes and leather. We're about respect. And we don't tolerate injustice." Reynolds tried to protest, but Jack cut him off. "You're gonna apologize to Harold. And to Emily. Or you can forget about ever opening this diner again." Reynolds looked defeated. He stammered, I'm sorry. I was wrong." Emily looked at Harold, then at the crowd. She realized she didn't need that old job anymore. She had a new path ahead, one paved with respect, courage, and a community that had her back. The bikers cheered. Jack raised his hand. "Let's make this clear, no more bullying. No more injustice. From now on, we stand together." And in that moment, Emily knew her life had changed forever. She wasn't just a waitress. She was part of something bigger now, a movement of respect and bravery. As she walked away from the crowd, her phone buzzed again. This time, a message from a new number: "We want to hire you. Come see us." She smiled, feeling a strange but powerful confidence. She was ready for whatever was next. Because sometimes, the smallest act of standing up can lead to a revolution. And Emily was just getting started.